This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm joined by Scott Sports Adam Smith here in Manchester. Adam, as I've said to everybody, and as everybody said to me, it's finally here. Amir Khan, Khan-Brook, we're only 2 days away now. How does it feel to have this fight week here, to know that in 2 days you will get to deliver a fight which many people have been wanting for so many years now?
You've been wanting it, I've been wanting it, so many fans have wanted it. Khan-Brook has definitively wanted it. Amir Khan has waited for this moment to deliver it as well. I think it's absolutely brilliant that it's happening. Never too late. And although they're not at their peak, I know they're not world champions, they put everything into this camp because they can't afford to lose. No one wants to be that defeated fighter on Sunday morning. I think there's a mountain to come back from there, because everybody's wanted to know for so long, is it Khan or is it Brook? And we still don't know. And in 50 odd hours we're going to find out. I can't wait, you can't wait. It's one of those that when there's a great story and there's a great needle and a grudge between fighters, sometimes overspilling like he did at the press conference today in a very unsavoury and uncalled for way. But if you get a story like this, and we've had it with Ben and Eubank, we've had it with Froch and Groves, we've had it with so many other over the years in America or Mexico, Barrera, Morales, Gassy Ward, there's been loads, and I think it just adds that extra spice, doesn't it? And normally there's respect and friendship. You know, it might take a little bit of time afterwards, and that's why we love boxing. It gets us on the edge of our seats, and this is a fight because of its unpredictability, Andy, and the imponderables that could happen on Saturday night. We are on the edge of our seats.
I won't repeat what was said on stage. Obviously, there were some of those unsavoury comments, as you mentioned, but being up there, being sat in between them, Adam, what did you make of it?
Uncomfortable. It's difficult, you know. I spent a lot of time around the camps, and we just didn't need to go there. It was wrong, and I just think it's a shame because this fight is great, and I think people probably thought when the fight was first announced, oh, are they past it? Are they going to bother training? Is it a money-making fight? If you see, and you'll see on the scales tomorrow, the shape that the pair of them are in, they want this badly. They're training for this like it's bigger than a world title fight. I just don't think it needed that. I know that they don't like each other. Maybe with all the sort of gloves are off and all the interviews they've done, and they feel like they're talked out, they felt they needed to do something else. You know, there is an adage that the gutter sells, but you know, we're on. You know, we work for Sky, we work for Comcast. Totally unnecessary comments. And you know, I was really excited about being up there at the beginning, and I felt really uncomfortable at the end. And it's like you apologise, the language was bad, but you sort of get away with Bomac and Dominic, and that's, you know, the sort of fun of the fair and the fun of the hype. But when you're getting into, you know, into, let's be honest, racist and homophobic stuff, it's disgraceful, and they should not have done it. And I hope that they don't. I hope they apologise, and I hope they feel you know, ashamed. But I feel they feel bad about what they did because it was totally wrong, and I don't like to see it. And as I said to you, Andy, it doesn't need it, and that's the most upsetting thing. But what can we do? It's been done. You're in a live situation up there. You know, should I have halted the whole thing? Should I have apologised more? You know, maybe, but ultimately it's a press conference, and you can't make them say. You know, Amir had a list of stuff he wanted to say. I don't think any of that stuff was on that list. So it's difficult, and as I said, it's unnecessary, unsavoury, and uncalled for, and it's a shame. But look, we move on. It's a press conference. We've got the weigh-in tomorrow, and we've got the fight on Saturday, and let's hope that now we can just concentrate on what matters, which is them in the ring.
We do move on indeed, Adam, and aside from what was said today, because of how personal it is and how much it's built up over the years, is this the biggest fight of both of their careers? Do you think that's a fair comment, or do you think what they've previously achieved, who they've previously faced, would top what this means to both fighters?
I think because it's in Britain, and because it's at this stage when they both need a sort of reminder to the British public that they were a great fighter, I think in many ways it is the most important fight. You look at Amir, what he did from Braden's Prescott defeat to Andreas Kotelnik in 11 months winning a world title. Yeah, winning a world title is everything to a fighter, so they're very special nights, and he's had many, and obviously when Cal went to America and defeated Sean Porter. But I don't think he's got as much credit for that. You know, they're probably known more for their exciting losses than they are their wins. So I think yes, and I think the fact that we've wanted this for so long, and the people on the streets are saying Khan's better than Brook's better than Khan, it is the most important fight, certainly for Khan-Brook. Amir will say it's not, But I think that deep down, and if he loses on Saturday, he'll realise what it has meant, and I think he'll try and do everything he can to win this fight as well.
Going on to Saturday night, what do you actually expect to see, Adam? It seems to be one which nobody can give a conclusive opinion on, because we're waiting to see who's got more left in the tank, seems to be what I'm being told.
I'm quite surprised that Kell's a decent favourite with the bookies, and I thought maybe Amir would be a slight favourite, or it would be very, very level. But Kell was saying, or Dominic was saying that up there. I think anything can happen in this fight. I think it's all about whether they can keep a cool head amongst the emotion. How Khan's leg's going to be, is his hand speed, which we know is great. Is he going to be able to sustain that combination after combination? What's going to happen if he gets in the pocket and engages like we know he likes to do? As for Kell, it's all about his timing, his distance, what they've got left in the locker, and whether they can keep their heads and listen to the tactics that Dominic and Bomac are going to give us, which is another great subplot, not just what we saw up there today, but that Dominic knows Kell inside and out, and Bomac doesn't know Amir. He's known him for a few months. But maybe that's the freshen up that Amir needed, and maybe Dominic's seen the best of Kell. Who knows? What I know is that Dominic has told me that Kell is in the best condition he's been in since the Sean Porter fight, and Bomac says that Amir Khan has done absolutely everything that's asked of him. So they could not have done more. Now they get in there. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I think both of them could go down. I think it's probably going to be a within the distance fight. Amir might look to box him and try and get in and out and do a little bit like what Chris Eubank did last week and try and sort of outclass Kell round after round. But will Kell allow him to do that? I don't think so. I think this means a huge amount to Khan-Brook. I think he's going to do anything he can in there to win this fight. You can't predict it.
Final thing on this fight, Adam, before we do move on to just a couple of other topics. Obviously, being on Sky pay-per-view, how do you expect it to do? What type of numbers are you anticipating to be able to reveal in maybe a few weeks' time?
Yeah, again, we don't sort of deal with the numbers. We're concentrating on giving the customers the best possible experience with the shoulder programming and Sky Sports News and all the sort of great things that we've got on our platform. And hopefully people will buy the event, because I think it's a must-see attraction if you're a fight fan, and also if you're a casual fan. If you're a football fan, you watch the Man City Spurs game and think, I'd like to have a look at that. And I think because it's got a great story, it's the narratives that hook people in. So I think it's fantastic, and I think it'll do really well. So we'll see what happens. But ultimately, it's about making sure that we get a great fight week, and we move past the press conference and move on to the weigh-in, and then we get a terrific fight night for British boxing, for global boxing, and obviously for our Sky customers.
Spoke to Ben before yourself. He said that he expects Anthony Joshua to make an announcement soon on the network side of things. Do you expect to hear something that you can update us on in the near future?
Yeah, negotiations are going on. I've always said to you that Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, will stay with Sky. We've been with him for his whole professional journey. We've had a fantastic relationship. He's been a great ambassador. We've learned a lot from him. He's learned a lot from us, and he's got the platform, and he's delivered time and time again the huge numbers of people, the crowds, the magnetism he brings to boxing. And look, he's coming off a loss. He's got to rebuild himself against Alexander Usyk, and we want to be there for that fight and for every fight for the rest of AJ's career. So hopefully we'll hear something soon.
Chris Eubank Jr. after his fight was talk about that kind of Ben's call out. Kind of Ben the following week, he said that he's had some form of talks with Junior's team about the potential for being at a catchweight. Is it a fight you think we could see anytime soon?
I think it's a fight that's definitely going to happen at some point. Whether it will be soon, I don't think so. I think you're looking at 18 months, 2 years for that fight. I think Chris needs to fight for a world title this summer. I'd love to see him fight Golovkin. I think Conor's got to ply his own trade. He's doing brilliantly well. I'm a big Conor Benn fan, and I'd love to see Conor Benn and Chris Eubank meet at some sort of catchweight at some stage down the line. It's got to happen, hasn't it? But not yet for me.
Rakpur Turchi, March 26th, Adam.
Great fight.
Great fight. Also falls on the same night as Martinez Warrington 2 up in Leeds.
Yep.
I spoke to Ben about this, and I was put a couple of questions to you on it. The show clashes, is this something we should expect to see a little bit more of as the year progresses?
I don't like it. No one likes it when shows clash. We want to watch the Warrington fight as much as we want to see Richard Riakporhe and Turchi, which is a great fight, and it'll be a great night on March the 26th in London. But that date was booked a long time ago. I think, you know, with arenas, and sometimes you're going to get clashes, you're going to get problems. It's just one of those things, and it's a shame that it's happened. But two great nights for the fans, and you know, try and keep across both.
And just the final one, Dillian Whyte, he's been silent still. He's only got a few days left till the 21st to sign his end of his deal. Just get your thoughts on his approach so far.
Yeah, he has been quiet, hasn't he? Which is unusual for Dillian. He's keeping himself to himself. I'm sure he's training away. I'm sure he's trying to get the best deal possible he can have. But he'll fight Tyson Fury. He's wanted this fight for a long, long time. And it's all the politics of the game, isn't it? I think I can't wait for it. I think he deserves his opportunity. It's a massive fight for Britain. And let's hope for an announcement soon.
Adam, appreciate your time. I'll see you later in the week. Thank you.